Good morning.
Hello, lovely to see you. I'm Jane and welcome to this week's art vlog. This week I wanted to share with you the story of how I became an artist, and also I'll share with you a little bit about our life here in Normandy. So put your feet up, make yourself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or a cup of herbal tea, whatever it is you like to drink, relax and enjoy. Oh, hello.
Last Sunday, a local village called Louvigny had a day where people who wanted to could open up their gardens and welcome artists of all kinds into the garden for the day, and people could come in and meet the artists and explore the gardens. I thought this week I'd tell you the story of how I became an artist. I've always painted or sculpted or just generally made things, but it took me quite a while to realise that I was actually an artist, and even more time to realise that I really needed to make it my full-time occupation in order to not feel constantly frustrated. I studied A-level art at college back when I lived in England, and it was by far my favourite A-level. I remember the excitement I felt at walking into the big, airy art studio that we shared there and seeing whatever it was I was working on each morning. For those of you who aren't from the UK, an A-level takes about 2 years, and you did it between the ages of 16 and 18. After my A-level, I didn't take my art any further because I didn't believe I could make a living from it.
There's a way to make a living, and a good living. Just wait for the dog to settle. I think the real key to success is following the thing that really attracts you the most. Or if they've got a few things that you're interested in, then follow them all and explore them thoroughly, and then pick one and get really good at it.
Anyway, I considered going to art school, but I was put off it by my parents, who believed in the old cliche that I wouldn't be able to earn a living doing something artistic. So I also loved languages, and especially French, and I went off to university to study French with European studies, which was a mix of history and politics in Europe. It was pretty interesting, but I never lost my passion for art, and all along my studies I found myself drawn to artistic people. I made friends with musicians and actors during my Erasmus time in Spain, and I also fell in love with an artist. But with hindsight, I realised that I was more in love with his art than I was with him, because I think it was something that I was missing in my life.
Fast forward to my life now in Normandy, and I'm married and I'm a mum, and I worked for just over 5 years in a really secure job at a bank, and I was using both English and French, so that was great. I got to put to use what I studied, but I would come home every day and I would draw or I would paint. And some days I'd be so tired after a day in my office job that I couldn't come home and create. And those days I would feel really frustrated and like I was really missing something quite essential from from my day. Over time, some of my colleagues bought my art or commissioned a portrait from me. And then I started little by little to sell my work through social media, so through Instagram and more so through Facebook. And I just gained in confidence. My style got more and more defined. You can now recognize one of my paintings very easily. I have a particular way of painting. I really started to lose interest in the world of banking and massively gain interest in the world of art.
Hello!
Oh God, no. Tarte framboisier, t'as un petit combi de framboise en ce moment?
Oui. T'as du frais là, t'as du poulet, du vrai poulet.
Ah, bah je vais mettre dans le frigo.
J'ai acheté des glaces.
Des glaces?
Des bonnes, des très très bonnes.
Oh!
Je reviens dans 20 minutes. Grand max.
Oh, parfait.
Grand max.
Max, on parle de Max full camp parce qu'il fait everywhere. Oust, 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 oust. Allez, oust. Couchez là-bas. Voilà. Where was I? That's the trouble when you film in the kitchen. You get disturbed.
While I was working at the bank, I would get quite regularly bad migraines, and I found that when I came home after a difficult day of dealing with a migraine, if I made it into work at all, that is, that I could make the pain go away by spending some time calmly working on a painting. So it was also a real therapy for my migraines.
I think turning 40 is quite a big deal for a lot of people. It's kind of the middle of your life, and I think you realise that it's time to really go for it if you haven't already done so, and start kind of living for yourself rather than for anything that other people thought you should do with your life. Personally, that was kind of my wake-up call turning 40. Plus, I was suffering with my migraines. So my doctor said, you shouldn't be working in a bank. The stress level there is definitely not helping the situation. So I decided I would listen to my doctor for once. And the other thing that happened was a chap that I used to go to school with passed away really sadly. I knew him, not particularly well, but I knew him and I knew he was a lovely person, and I just thought, my goodness, it can all go away like that. And I thought, if he could come back, I wonder if he would spend a minute working in a job that he really didn't like. Probably not. And I thought, I'm lucky enough to be able to experience every day. Let's make it count. Let's follow what my soul is wanting me to do with my day. So I went for it.
I've been doing this full time now for under a year still, and I've been sharing my journey and what I've been learning here on YouTube, in the hope that it will be useful to others wanting to follow a similar path, or maybe inspire others who feel stuck in the wrong life like I did. I earn most of my income from portrait commissions, which is great, as that's what I love to paint most of all. I've been showing my work at local shows, and I sell a piece or two from time to time, which I see as an added bonus. I'm also preparing some street art, as I would really like to branch out into that field. I have a theory, and that's that we're all born like rough diamonds, all with multiple different facets, and that as we go through life, we should try to polish those facets and make them as beautiful and developed as we can. As we grow, we end up becoming more and more polished, so that over time we manage to reflect light back out into the world and shine and sparkle.
Hopefully I'll be able to give you some ideas and some inspiration and show you that it's possible. So fingers crossed it'll work out, and stick with me and I'll keep sharing.
Stick around if you'd like to see a little bit about what we've been up to as a family. Here are two new additions to our household. This is Tweety Pea and Tweety Pie, named by our daughter, who recently took flight to baby doves. It's been really, really hot here in Normandy over the last few days, so we popped down to our local river and had a quick dip.
On a un bon chien. Il est content.
Et où ton bâton?
So we finished making a potager. Bah, c'est pas nous, c'est lui. Lui, il a fini. He made this with his friend from old recuperated windows and bits of wood and random stuff that they could find. And we've put lots of tomato plants and what else? Beans. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a d'autre, chérie? Qu'est-ce qu'on fait pousser? Yeah? Courgettes. Potatoes. Salad. Radishes.
Carottes, oignons, betteraves.
Wow. Onions, beetroot. We're going to have too much food.
Yeah.
Mince. And every time I take a leaf off this lettuce, it's like 10 grow back. And I always say thank you, because I'm kind of stealing its leaves. And they taste so much better than what you buy in the supermarkets. So much more flavour. This is a sunflower. Richard decided he'd plant some sunflowers just for fun. And then we've got strawberries over here. I hope the dog doesn't develop a taste for them, because they're going to be really nice. All the flowers, soon to be little baby strawberries. Alors, on arrose. Combien de fois par jour? Une fois?
Une fois le soir.
Ça suffit? It's nearly 10 o'clock at night and it's still daytime. It's really cool. Here in Normandy. More baby salads that we planted today. I have to stop saying we, because it really is Richard's project. What's here? Looks like weeds. Oh no, is this cabbage? Red cabbage?
Non, c'est oignon rouge.
Oignon rouge. Red onion. And here we have a cherry tree that's protected from the birds, because last year they stole, well, they ate. They didn't steal them because they're kind of for the birds, you know, but they ate all the berries. This is what happens when you plant a handful of potatoes very soon afterwards.
Compost.
And over here we've got some courgettes, and then I'll show you the compost.
Ça, c'est
Courgettes, flowers, meaning courgettes coming soon.
framboisier.
Ah, and that's my favourite raspberry plant, le framboisier. Trop bon les framboises. Oh, j'adore ça. Et là, c'est le compost. T'expliques le compost?
Ouais, c'est compost.
Non mais,
Ouais.
tu peux expliquer?
Ah, on fait que la terre, enfin, que l'herbe et tout ça redeviennent terre et que ça se remette. Enfin, c'est assez compliqué à expliquer.
Tu mets plein de choses. Qu'est-ce que tu mets dedans?
On laisse la terre fermenter pour recréer des copeaux organiques afin de remettre dans la terre avec plein de vitamines, on va dire.
And here we have had for the last 10 years, it was here when we moved into the house and it's been growing ever since, rhubarb. And there's nothing better than rhubarb and apple crumble with ice cream. Autre chose à ajouter?
Oui, on récupère l'eau de pluie ici.
Ah, yes. So when it rains, it goes into this half tube, trough, thingy-majiggy, and down here, and here, and then we recuperate it to water the plants everywhere with. Well done. wish you the very best, and I encourage you to follow your dreams in life, because hey, we only have one life and that's what we should do. As always, take care, stay creative, and I'll see you again very soon.